They're so loud.
Yeah.
It started from. Hey, guess what? We're starting on real people time, not realtor time. So welcome to your team meeting. And so let's start out with some new agent welcomes. Susan Wickerly. She's actually coming from WCTC. She was here last week. If you got to see her, she tweaked her knee. So I don't think she's here today, but she finished her associate's degree in real estate at WCTC. And she interviewed with a bunch of different companies, had a bunch of questions, filled out her form, and she stayed for our team meeting, and she loved how welcoming everyone was and the energy and the knowledge that we all had. So kudos to you guys. And then Murphy's moving on up. He hired an admin. So Bree Polly is his new admin. So yay, welcome. And first closing with KW, first of like, what is it, like her 7,000 closing? But new to KW, so she's here. Oh, and there we go. And we have some cappers. So we have Dan Callis. And then we have our mean Yeah, we should have intro music. And you can take these back.
Oh, thank you. So I've got a couple of reminders for you guys today. Number one, if you so the number for compliance, you can either call it or text it. Just know if it's ever a 911, just call. It's through an app, and what's that?
Call 911.
Call 911, and then that will direct you to us. Works really well. Try it. So if you text, the calls are forwarded through an app, so we don't always get a notification when there's a text. So we try and check it throughout the day, but if it's important, call. And then home warranty waiver. Who has their clients sign one when they aren't having a home warranty in a property? Okay, so it's not a requirement in command, but it is a good idea because it will save you money on your errors and omissions deductible. So if you have them sign the waiver, it's gonna reduce. I don't remember what it is.
I don't know what it is.
I do not remember. I believe it is
Luckily, I've never had to
2,500.
use that.
Yes. So, but you have to. We found out at the Germantown office, you can't just have them sign a waiver and have it just their name on a piece of paper. You actually have to have the address on there. So you don't have to have the address right away when they sign it, but maybe you have them sign it and then you add it after they have an accepted offer, and that's what you upload. But if you have them sign that HSA home warranty flyer, the back of it, there's a little waiver spot.
What if we just have it on the offer then?
You're supposed to have it on the waiver itself. I know.
Is that the same for a home inspection waiver though? Like, because I'm agreeing if the home inspection. You made it.
Yeah. There's a separate form. Use the separate form for home inspection waiver.
So it doesn't count as.
Yep. Yes.
Are we supposed to do on the fire agency amendment?
You can do that as well. Or for the
We were
home inspection.
told that, I thought, maybe I've read this wrong. I thought if it's a client, you have to do it on the fire agency amendment, or if it's not, then you do it on the fire.
Which are you talking about? Are you talking about the home
Home.
inspector? You can do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine too. And then there were a couple questions about that new addendum AC. We have, that's got the escalation clause in there. It's got the appraisal gap coverage, and then it also has if they're gonna not be asking for up to a certain dollar amount of inspection. So we have a fun escalation clause scenario for you guys, because there was the option that you can either adjust the price once or adjust the price more than once. So hypothetically, this house received 3 offers. First one was $235,000, and it had an escalation clause, $1,000 over the highest offer, up to a max of 243, and could only adjust once. Second offer was 240 with no escalation. And then third offer was 239 with an escalation $500 over the highest offer, up to a max of 242, and can adjust more than once. So what are the prices of these houses?
241, 240, and 241.5.
Let's see. Close. So the highest offer of the 3 was 240. And then to maximize that sale price, you're gonna do, so you can, the $500 one, you could do more than once, offer 3. So to maximize it, you would do $500 from offer 3. So that's gonna bring it up to $240,500. And then you'd add in the $1,000 from offer 1, which makes it $241,500. And then because you could escalate offer 3 more than once, you could add that extra $500 in there. So what do you do with this? So maybe you just counter for clarity's sake. So maybe you want to send out a multiple counter offer in that situation up to 243. That was, the highest offer. And then you can also at the same time take care of anything else that the seller might want to change from that offer. And then the seller will get another chance to choose. It does, when you have more than one escalation clause, it gets very confusing very fast. Yeah, Lisa.
Well, then if your seller was choosing to do the scenario you just showed, they have to then send both offers.
Yes, in that case, they would, because they'd have to show the chain. That's a good question. So the question was, would you have to, when you have to prove the offer to do that final amendment, you'd have to send both offers, because it wouldn't be just a straight answer there. Yeah.
And you don't send me.
Oh, no, the client would have to send both to the seller. Yes. Compliance. Yes.
Speaking of that, I always have the seller write out, like out the buyer's name on the offer. Is that a criteria in Wisconsin? Because I'm dealing with one where my seller is turning to the buyer out of state, and out of state listing agent wants to see the client's names on the accepted offer.
I can get back to you on that.
Yeah, I didn't know. So I've been always blanking them out for confidentiality, and I didn't know if that's not really required or not. With
But
the
isn't the
escalator
buyer supposed to send it directly to the seller and you're not supposed to be involved at all?
right, you're not supposed to be, but I always tell my sellers to play out the buyers when they send them to the escalator clause.
I'll get back to you on that. That's a good question.
Yes, doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters. I think you can leave it, like, you can
can't
leave
leave
the
it?
buyers, you can leave the buyer's name on there.
Okay.
I can confirm that for you, but
Yeah, I've always just told my sellers to wait it out or whatever, like, but I didn't know if it's a requirement, so I just asked.
oh, they can send it right over. Cool, awesome, thank you guys. So counter those escalate.
Here, take your books. Take your books. Oh, thank you.
Nice job, Dawn.
Thanks, Dawn. So basically, math, okay. So now we have our Tech Tuesday. And Lindsay, are you on?
I am here. Good
Yay.
afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
So this week, you guys, we are continuing on with our theme of owning the neighborhood. So last week in training, we went through how to target a specific neighborhood using Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns. This week, we are covering direct mail campaigns in Command. Command makes it extremely easy to send out direct mailers. You can send out as little as 1 postcard. There's no minimum order required. So Kelly, next slide, I've got a few details surrounding these campaigns. So no minimum order required. I know a lot of programs have like a minimum order of like 50 or 100. Command does not. You can send out postcards for as little as 68 cents per postcard. Now this includes everything. It's printing, distribution, postage, and the address labels. The great thing about these as well is that you can schedule them out up to 2 weeks in advance. So it's really nice if you have a closing scheduled and you want to send out a just sold or even a just listed postcard, and maybe the week of closing it's really hectic and you kind of want to get ahead of that. So you can schedule out that postcard up to 2 weeks in advance. So you can schedule it to maybe go out on the closing date. You can also target your database. So if you have mailing addresses for your contacts in your database, you can target specific groups of people. Maybe you have tags set up so you can get really segmented there, or you can choose a radius on the map. So this is great for those just listed, just sold postcards. You enter in the property address for that listing, and then you can target based on how many homes you want to send to surrounding that area. And that's where you can get really targeted with that neighborhood. You also have advanced targeting options. So if you want to specify single family homes or multifamily homes, including condos, bathroom count by square footage. I love the fact that you can target by year last sold. So if you want to get even custom with this, targeting homes that haven't sold in a few years. So you can really filter down and target specific properties with this radius search. And so we also have some new postcards available that you can send out to your database. Next slide. We've got the Milwaukee Brewers baseball schedule. So Brewers season is right around the corner. It's available as a direct mail postcard, an email smart plan, and a social media post. There are links on our kwrealtymke.com website for all of these marketing assets. So this is a Google Drive folder that's going to be updated constantly with all of the marketing assets. So if you want to grab the PNG image to share on social media, any of these, you have access to all of those assets. If you need the back of the postcard customized, just feel free to reach out to me and I can get that customized with your headshot and your contact information. One other one that's available, daylight savings is this week. So next slide, we've got one just for that. So if you wanted to email that out or share it on social media, we do have that available as well. Also in that Google Drive folder with all of our marketing assets specific to Milwaukee. Next slide, I think I just have the training calendar on here for our tech and marketing masterminds. So like I mentioned, this Thursday at 11, we have targeting with direct mail. So we're going to go through from start to finish how you create that direct mail campaign in Command and how you can send those out. And then the next 2 weeks we have, we're going over how to dominate open houses. So we're going to take that open house playbook from Family Reunion and really go through it in detail and how you can utilize Command. We'll have some special guests on those trainings as well, so more details to come. And then a couple other things. So next slide, Kelly. If you are looking for the playbooks, feel free to scan that QR code. That will take you to all of our 2023 Family Reunion resources, including all of the playbooks that are currently available, and also available as a link on our website. And then finally, I think I have one more slide. Pertaining to our website, our 2023 vendor partners has been updated. So you can learn about all of our 2023 preferred vendor partners on our site with links to their website and other available resources. So go check it out. Just check out our website in general, bookmark it if you haven't already. There's a ton of content on here for you guys.
Wow. Does anybody have any questions about the postcard thing? No.
Is that at a certain location?
It's on Zoom.
Yeah, for the, are you talking masterminds?
The one that's coming up this Thursday,
Yep, it's on Zoom. Yep. You'll see it on the training calendar. So Kathleen sends out the week at a glance with the training calendar at the bottom. If you open the training calendar as a PDF and then click on the KW logo, it'll take you to the Google Calendar, and then you have all the Zoom links. So that's a little app there. Thanks so much, Lindsay.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on. So let's talk about training and events. So like I said, if you guys open this training calendar, you click on the little KW in the hat, the leprechaun hat, and it will take you to the Google Calendar where you can access all the Zoom links or the locations on where the trainings are. And the upcoming trainings that we do have is March 9th at 1 in Lake Country. Diana, who is the TL of Lake Country, is going to be presenting DISC personalities. Home site has Tuesday, March 14th, defining defects, lunch and learn. So that's a good one if you don't remember what a defect is. Pizza call day, March 15th. It's in all of our training rooms. So each location has a training room and each location has a pizza call day, so, or day. And then we have Scott to talk about his masterminds.
Woo!
Woo!
This camera get us.
Probably not. I'm probably like,
So couple things, the leadership mastermind, the vision this year, we're tweaking it a bit. And January and February, we had 1 hour Zooms. And my goal with this, as it's in my head, is who likes accountability? Does anyone like accountability? Does anyone want to admit to liking accountability? Or does anyone not like it, but still want it? Use your hand. So
like it and not like it at the same time.
yeah, you don't have to like it, you just have to want it and do it. So my thought is this is specifically around leadership. So people that are running a team, people that want to run a team, maybe in the future, we got together and each session would have, beforehand, we sent out a survey, like, what are you most struggling with? What do you most want to talk about? The power of a mastermind is we can rely on each other for answers and ideas. And then at the end of the mastermind is what's the one thing you're going to do by this time next month that you want us to know about, that you want us to hold you accountable to. Does that make sense? And so midway through it's always like middle month. So but really about like the end of the month, the start of the month, we send out something like, where are you at? Are you on track to doing your one thing you said that was most important? The accountability of this is free. And it's not from any coach or any boss or anyone. It's from your peers, the people that you respect. And that's what I love about it. So January and February, we did this. It's more just like a tweak. You're just going there, you're getting a tweak, you're hearing what's out there, what's best, you're sharing, and it's on Zoom. So it's very convenient. Then the goal is once a quarter, the third month of the quarter, we would meet in person and it would be 2 hours. And this one, we got a reservation at Moe's. So we can hold up to like 25 or 30 people. I would love to have us order our food. If you click on there, you can look at the menu, you can order what you want. So we don't have to spend 45 minutes ordering food. We can get the food there, we can eat, we can have a really nice 2 hour in-person mastermind. And this one is like, how'd the quarter go? What's your plans for the next quarter? What do you need help with? Like, what are you struggling with? And we'll always have that piece to learn. So I would love to see the leaders in the room show up, commit to this, seeing what we can all learn from each other. Does anyone have questions on what this is or what the vision is? Does anyone want to come? Is anyone committing to coming? It would be buy your own food, if that's going to deter anyone, but we want to lead with revenue. We want to be smart, but it would just be a nice lunch mastermind meeting. And then starting in the second quarter, we would have that 1 hour Zoom in April, 1 hour Zoom in May, and then in June, we would meet again for 2 hours. But you're gonna walk away by saying something that you want to do, that you want to commit to. So this is the time more than ever to recommit to this. It's social health, it's financial health, it's all of those pieces, because I don't know about you, but mindset to me is the hardest thing right now. You know, as going through November, December, January, February with our team not profiting, it gets harder and harder every day. So it's like, how can I rely on, I mean, selfishly, how can I rely on you guys to keep me lifted? And then also vice versa. So leverage people. It doesn't always have to cost money. Love to see there. Any questions on that? I don't know which one's my favorite. I like talking about leadership. And the next one, is the next one on here?
No.
What's that?
No, there was only that one graphic.
Oh, did you do the link? Okay, so I want to share that I also next Wednesday have a profit mastermind. And so the profit mastermind got a little injection of steroids yesterday. I have been like racking my brain over making this easier to track. And I have learned the concept of the pivot table and just certain things of a drop-down menu that make this easier. And so yesterday, no joke, I was like, I am not going to bed tonight without finishing this. And it was probably like 6 hours of my day yesterday, which makes me want to jump off a bridge, but I got it done. And so I embedded it with the 5-minute or less videos on each tab. I sent it out to the Profit Masterminder, like OG core group, you know, the people that are there. I would highly encourage you between now and Wednesday, watch the videos. Again, I don't have the paid version of Loom because I'm watching my budget. So the video literally can't be over 5 minutes. And you can see the new way it's set up, the new way it is. And the other thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about a personal budget. So I'm went to a KW Wealth event, and they created a spreadsheet that tracked your net worth and your cash flow, two things that we don't talk about a lot. We talk about how much PCI you make. So I created a souped up version that you can track your current net worth, your net worth over the next 30 years, your current cash flow over the next 30 years, and then your personal budget. So what are you spending money on? What can you cut? One theme that I took away from Family Union, you don't only cut your business, you actually cut your personal expenses first. If you cut $1,000 from your lead gen, you might have cut $10,000 of potential income. But if you could cut $1,000 from your personal per month, then your business needs to make 1,000 less, and you're the same. So we got to focus holistically on not just the business, but the personal. So if you're committed to this, if you want to know what your actual net income is, you want to know like how much you spend on Starbucks and Netflix a month, like that's accountability that people like as much as standing on a scale, but it's also very, very important. So, love to see you there next Wednesday from 1 to 2.
Sure.
And I should have emailed it to you. I thought I put your name on there.
How's everybody else?
I will.
It's meeting recap, so you can get information. We'll have a Google sheet, right? That
Yeah,
They can fill out.
it'll also be in the one spot. It will be in the email. I would love to get some new people. You don't need to like talk. You don't need to share anything. You can just come in and learn for now. It is a little overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, but if you take things step by step, it would take you no more than how long does it take you to track your money a month, Nicole?
Half hour.
So would anyone give a half hour for a month to know your numbers? How long does it take you? Or you don't do it?
I don't do it anymore. I
I
love
don't do it. I got people.
But it takes her 30 minutes.
Takes her about
That's
takes
not
her
what
about
you do, Maybe leverage.
30 minutes. So literally like once you get this process, it's clunky, it's painful at first. There's no way around it, but Yoli, how long does it take you? So I don't pay these people. But we've had,
Spreadsheet, we don't
Yeah.
know what the new one.
Yeah,
is.
yeah, for sure.
maybe it'll be even less.
I just want to say that, like, if you're in business to make money, this is the mastermind to go to, because it will not only show you what you're making, but what.
And the stories that come from this, like numbers tell a story, and everyone's story is different. I know Jay's made a lot of decisions based on this. We've made a lot of decisions. It's very, very important and crucial. So love to see you there.
So when you were talking about pivot tables and drop downs, that's,
Is
Google
your love
Sheets.
language, or
is that Google Sheets talk?
that is Google
Okay.
Sheets.
That's not. All right. Well, thanks, Scott. And that will all be in the team meeting recap. Obviously, I didn't read his full email. I think
Yeah.
I might be a realtor. So, okay, are you ready? I'm gonna see if this plays. That's all I have. No
Well,
picture.
that's the least. Everybody's laughing. So quick update for you. Well, I'll just introduce her real quick. Diana Gable. So totally transparent with you about like the whole process and what we went through. I'd be lying to you if I said this was a really easy thing to figure out. You know, when we made the transition and Scott and I worked through that in September, that was one challenge in coming into a new environment, a new community, and learning how I can best add value. And then layer on top of Kim's decision to do something new in life. While also trying to figure out, okay, what are we doing here with Scott's? Like, how is Scott and I are still transitioning? Was a curveball that was unexpected. And I think that what you've heard just across the labor markets in general, like leadership talent in particular, is incredibly difficult to find. And I said to you from day one when I came into this, I'll be really patient. I'll be incredibly patient. I'll tell you what I learned through the whole process. I think two things. When you have an unstable market and you have an unstable leader that a lot of people are questioning what are we doing and why is it taking so slow and why does it feel as if it's not transparent? That wasn't the goal or the purpose of the case. Some of the people in this room, like I had dialogue with and conversations with about what the role and opportunity was. And as I've always said from day one, I am very cognizant and respectful that this place has an ethos and a vibe that I want to protect and that I'm respectful of. And that it wasn't as if I was wanted to come in and make wholesale changes. That wasn't the purpose of that. And so it took time for me to listen, to see feedback, to understand what the ethos and vibe was of the community, so that I could understand who I think would be the right fit and could do the function of the role. And you can find people that can do the right function, but they could suck at the fit. And you could find the right people who can do the fit piece, but the function may not be in alignment. And so it was important for me to find where I thought we could find function. Fast Track. A couple weeks ago, as I was masterminding with different leaders in the business across all of KW Milwaukee, I just like, hey, like, here's kind of where I'm at. As they were asking questions too, like, I have a Southwest business. And Teach and I had a conversation. Just so you guys don't know, her name's Diana Gabler. I just call her Teach. And Deej and I were having a conversation about, hey, here's what I see from a fit standpoint. Here's what we need from a functionary standpoint. This is what is kind of going on. And we serendipitously like talked for a long time about this place. Now, that's kind of how we got to where we are today. Here's what you need to know about Deej. He's been in the KW world and KW Milwaukee system for 4+ years. She started in December of 2018. She came in as an MCA, did the MCA role in Lake Country when it was 40 agents? 34 agents. We had a leader in place in Lake Country. Here's a really good example. Functionary, do the role. Fit, really bad fit. And we made a decision to get out of business with that individual, and we moved Deej into the role. And in the 4 years since, she took it from 34 agents up past 100+. In that same token, she's taken that office from 34 agents that was kind of floating and figuring it out to last year, and it is the 4th largest office in terms of close productivity. It ended up in the Lake Country marketplace, depending on how you define the Lake Country marketplace. Ended up it's the #1 office within geography. What I think you'll see and what you'll feel is that Deej, and I'll let her speak for herself, but I'll just tell you my experience. An incredibly disciplined individual who understands who she is and what her purpose is. Her purpose is to serve. And I think the benefit that this group will receive in her leadership is she knows what KW is at the highest level. She's in tune with our mission, values, beliefs, and perspectives. She's in tune with the standpoint of it's an agent built by agents for agents. And I think she'll come in and provide an incredibly stable, calming voice that truly cares about you and wants to get to know you on a personal level and understand the holistic person, right? Because we're in business with the holistic person. And so on my end of it, I just want to say for the group that has stuck it through it with us, thank you for your patience. On behalf of the entire leadership team and the rest of the group, thank you for continuing to put your trust in us, with us while we navigated through a really uncertain time. The market's tough, leadership instability is tough, but we think, we have an incredible leader, incredible servant businesses, and has a proven track record of success and knowing how to run the Keller Williams business model at the highest level. So with
Really like to pick at Charlie, like, what did you get wrong? But I don't know what to pick at that. So I did notice, Kelly, thank you for being all of support. I noticed you struggled with my desk presentation. What title do I go? Because Kelly knew this was coming. She's like, well, she's the team leader of somewhere. I knew that I was very aware that this opening had come up when it came up. And I didn't raise my hand for it when it came up because I had a sweet. I don't know who's been out to Lake Country. If you haven't, go visit. It's amazing because the people there are amazing. And as we started talking and kind of looking at opportunities, one of the things that I am very aware of is that there are amazing people. And I believe 100% in that. And I believe in the ability to grow your business. And I'm super excited about that profit camp. Scott, if you'll let me come, I want to come. And I believe in terms of what we do here, build businesses and change lives. And that's super exciting. I can't do that unless I know you. So I'm very interested in getting to know you. And I'm very excited to work with this leadership team. And I've had some conversations about this. Michelle and I was a much better MCA than I ever was. There are definitely new faces on the leadership team that I don't know. There are a handful in this room that I do know, but way more of you than I don't. So in the next couple of weeks, I definitely want to be sitting down and getting to know you. Reach out. you put my number up on the board. I will be here with the exception of Tuesday morning, because now we have, you know, the Lake Country
Working through a trend.
working through a transition and we'll figure that out. And I'm very excited. For your patience. And all I
And
ask for a tiny bit of grace as I'm learning your system and who you are, and let's go.
can I also want to say that like when I started at KW, Kim had broken her leg. So I really didn't have a lot of leadership while she was recuperating. And Diana and I connected at some event that we were at. And I was instantly drawn to her because she is calm and collected and firm, but also very caring. And I always picked her brain for everything. We were accountability partners until life happened. And so, so it was really a great thing. So I am super excited to have her in our office. And I think you guys will all really love her. The ones that don't know her, I think you guys will really love it. So,
Cool. Real
Excited.
quick, let's give these.
For sure.
Started in higher education.
Yep, spent my first 20 years being a recruiting director, grew up in Chicago, worked at National Louis University, if anyone's familiar with that. I ran their recruiting department. My wife and I had family up this way. They were getting older. Anyone familiar with Chicago, you know it's a 5-hour drive. There's no traffic. So we, oh my gosh, and if you move from Chicago, you think moving from Chicago to Milwaukee. And I got here, and I was like, oh my gosh, the quality of life here is amazing. So grateful. So that was in 2003, looking for a job in higher ed. So that's always been my background. Alverno was hiring. I served as the executive director of admissions for Alverno for a bunch of years. And anyone who's worked in higher ed knows they don't pay you well, but they give you all the education. So I got my MBA from Alverno, got really, really interested in growing businesses. I knew a guy who wanted to start his own brokerage. I knew nothing about real estate. So that sounds great, doesn't it? So I went off and I tried to help him grow a business.
But you did. You built a really
We built it.
nice business.
We built it and then.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. She worked with Dan Bunch to build Best.
And then I started looking around, you know, like my job was to serve the agents there to help them like HR stuff, paperwork and finances. And like, boy, we didn't have the education model that KW has. We didn't have a profit mastermind or a scale or, you know, so my people would get only so far and then they'd be like, what do I do? And then the financial model that we had put incredible stress on our high performers. So, when KW, as they do, they come and bring the opportunity out to everybody they think might be interested. Dan had a great business and it looked interesting. Dan chose not to take the opportunity, but I raised my hand. I wanted to be with a company that can build your business for real and not just work your top people to death and hope that your new people would catch on to something. So I was super excited and they had the Lake Country opportunity growing. But I was also a little cautious, you know, it's like I do not at that point, you know, I wanted to make sure it was going to be successful. It's really important to me. So I watched it for a year. What am I doing? You know, is this going to work? I learned more in 1 year being the MCA than I learned in my MBA program. Finances matter. Getting your profit right matters. Knowing your numbers matter so that you can grow. And when the team lead position came open, I felt very confident this was something that I could represent to the community. And I believe we're people and we navigate those systems a little differently. But I believe if you want to grow your business, this is the place to be. If I believe, you know, you want to whatever extent, right? You can be a mega million producer. That's great. We've got a system for that. If you want to be a capper and you've got, you know, 5 children that you're taking care of and you travel all the time, I get that. You've got a system for that. So I believe in that and I believe in people. So really excited took the team lead on, got involved with some amazing people and, you know, here your world gets bigger. My mindset has changed since I started and that's what's really exciting. I love watching people grow, business-wise, personal, all that stuff. So very excited to be here. That's what I got. I'm open book. Any questions you have, I'm more than willing to answer. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know.
So what?
I'm the team leader I was the team leader for Lake Country. I'm coming into the team leader here. It's a great question.
We're working through that. Sue, do you know how long it took me to find?
We're just passing the problem. Well, and
It's my problem.
That's what we do. We do problems.
I think, yeah, go ahead.
Well, why, I'm just curious why change office?
Great question. Yeah, and that goes a little bit back to your mindset changes when you're here. And I've been on a little bit of a journey. I don't know if you met me 4 years ago. I was a little bit timid, right? Perhaps not fully confident in what I was doing. You spend enough time here and you dial into what we do and you get to know yourself really well. And that's something I'm interested in anyway. I mean, I wanted to know how I showed up as a person. But I've grown and grown and grown. And my Lake Country office to me operates really, really well. And I love that. And when this came up, part of the conversation, when this came up late in the day, right, this was not in November. When this came up, it was like, well, what is the opportunity? What can I do? I think one of the things that Charlie said is like, I'm very good at this. And I'm pretty good at trying to manage expectations. Not, you know, it's like, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna screw up. I want to be in a relationship. Well, part of my journey has become to be more transparent. So I get to keep doing that. This is a larger office. You guys have a larger impact. I was number 4 in the MLS behind you guys. So I like that. Like I'm very competitive and I would like to be number 1 at some point. So it's just a big opportunity. Kelly was a big part of this for me. I didn't have an ATL where I was. And there's some recruiting systems that I'm really excited to put in place. And that requires system of us. So the opportunity to grow personally, the opportunity to grow professionally, and the opportunity to win at all levels with some new fabulous people.
I think at the end of the day, talented people seek opportunity, right? And like I was just spitballing with her on ideas, and she sought me out for that discussion.
Well, and honestly, how this happened was a miscommunication. I thought we were coming here to have a conversation. I reached for my coat because Charlie said, well, should we go to Lake Country? And I reached my quote to like go to Lake Country, to Southwest, right? To come here to have a conversation. And it just kind of like, oh, wait, meant like, that's when we started. So it really was very much a miscommunication. And I know it's been a long time for you, but I think for me, I needed the time to even wrap my head around it because I don't make decisions quickly. And I left a really good way.
I think part of the other dialogue though too, on my standpoint, we have a leadership team in Lake Country that's virtually had 0 turnover. All we've done is add people to that team. And let's just call a spade a spade. Agents desire consistency. Flat out. I know one of our biggest problems has been instability in the last 6 months from a leadership. Now, Michelle, Allison, Kelly, and the rest of the team, Sarah, Dawn, those guys are great. But I also know that sometimes you look up and you're saying, okay, who's through? Lake Country, we felt really comfortable about making the transition to her seeking a bigger space and what the impact that she could do in this role, because we have a really stable leadership out there who knows who they are and they know what they need to do to deliver on the value proposition for agents. And we knew that that wouldn't change for a change in the team, which is why we felt really comfortable about it. All right, that's not wrong. What else? Other questions?
I'm apparently gonna go look at the plan.
We're working through that. So.
Good question.
There's some
My
change,
question too.
there are some changes that we're gonna make in terms of the layout of where some of the leadership team sits. To be, like, we've talked through this last night. You'll see changes in where she sits to be what I would consider to be in the center. So that you feel as if the leadership team is incredibly accessible. And that they have to go seek each other out versus being within the same 2 foot confines of what I hear all the time here is. I don't know if it's called leadership hall or leadership.
Yeah.
leadership room. Like, a small change I want to make is I want the leadership implemented throughout the office so that if someone is over near, I don't know, like Nate and his team are jiving out, that everyone on that side of the office feels integrated into what's going on versus like, you know, when the lights turn off and so there's some small things like we plan to make some changes there as it relates to the flow and how the leaders serve you so that you feel that you're always within a shouting distance to a leader.
So my question is, because Kelly, I have this one step role when the last step.
So Kelly and Deidre are like Batman and Robin. Like, and I'll use an example, hopefully you guys understand. The most successful real estate teams have their X factor. Okay, like every rainmaker knows who the X factor is, right? And in order to do what we need to do, like the X factor component is like Kelly's role will be a bit more of like a hybrid ATL agent services role in support of Deej. He does things that Deej never had in Lake Country. Deej does things that Kelly's never had here. And then you put that together in terms of what their roles and responsibilities are, on top of the fact of the stability that we have from a Michelle and Allison standpoint on the operations back end, we think will be really dynamic and powerful.
So I just wanted to say, because I'm an OG and I've known Diana since Bunch days, before even either one of us were at KW, we were searching for our homes. And so I just wanted to say that, like, since you've come over to KW, I know you're in Lake Country and we're over here in Southwest, but we've crossed paths numerous times on various events and conferences, and it's just been always exciting to watch what you've done with Lake Country. And I just kind of know, through our interactions, the kind of person you are, and being very growth minded and very much for the agents. And so I think that this is going to be an amazing fit, an amazing journey. And I'm just excited you're going to be here with us. I know. Yeah, this is really exciting. So welcome. Yeah.
Oh, good call.
Going forward. Yeah, because of the twos this time, Diana as well. So do you have 2 ends or 1 end?
Oh, I have 2.
Oh, same.
Two.
Yeah. So that's always.
Yeah. Although I have been called Deej for so long, I might not respond to that. So
Okay.
you are welcome to call me Deej.
I only know her as
That way for-
I think last thing, Nate, and I think this, I'd be remiss if I didn't touch on this because this part of her story, I don't think she would touch on, but I got permission to touch on it. Is she's gone through an incredible personal transformation in the last year. When we talk about leaders seeking out opportunity, Deej, how much would you?
So I went to a trip, I went to Bermuda, I traveled, I love traveling. And I had a chance to relax for a hot second, right? And I came back and Charlie and I were talking on our one-on-one, your energy is just so different. Whatever you need to do to keep up with this energy. So long story short, over the pandemic, I got plantar fasciitis. And like my natural state is not moving. So give me a reason not to move, I'm not gonna move. And I like eating, right? Comfort food is great. So I got super, super unhealthy. And it was so hard. So we had this conversation, changed my energy, loved the path I was on, got lots of support, I'm down 85 pounds. And I'm halfway through, you guys, because this is health is wealth. And this is the mindset that I learned here. Because everything that I'm learning in my fitness journey applies to work, right? It's what you do consistently. It's not what you do one-off. So you can lead gen one day at a time. You can eat really well one day at a time. You're not going to grow this big business. You're not going to. So that's been since July 1. Consider that I have 3 birthdays. That's one of them. Where my life changed. And like when I say I'm interested in changing lives and being the best you can be, I mean it, and I want to live it, and I am on this journey. I'm continuing on this journey. I don't have answers. I have experience that I want to share and learn. I have support. I have people who challenge me. So I mean, I that thank you. And I want to be that for other people, right? So I'm excited to be that. To be like Catherine, I saw you didn't like accountability. We'll be careful with that. You know, it doesn't change without that for me. So I have a lot of accountability in my life. And that's one of the I work out with a trainer in Lake Country. I will still be doing that.
Anything else?
Well, as you heard, Diana likes challenges, so all the problems go to her and I'll take all the good stuff.
I'll take it with coffee. We'll have a conversation for sure.
So stay tuned, or you'll see her down here pretty much every day moving forward. In and out throughout the day as we work through also some stuff on the Lake Country, helping me wrap up so that we can effectively transition that nicely. Hearing from her, because I'll tell you, her first 90 days, as we've discussed already, it's all internally focused. There's no pressure from an external standpoint. There's no pressure on hitting these metrics or hitting these goals. The only thing I care about on the first 90 days is getting to know the person holistically and understanding. We talked about this on Homegrown Cappers today. Where are you now? Where are you going? What's your gap? How do we as a leadership team help you fill the gap by implementing what it is? So that's the purpose of what she's doing.
I will be around section. Maybe I'll have not.
So
I'm still in charge right now.
guys, with that, thank you. It's not lost on me that, again, I don't take it for granted ever that you guys continue to work and trust in what your partner does. Thank you for your continued trust. Cool. Thanks, guys.
So, as you can see on the chat, Dan Schmidt has a Waterford listing coming soon. Does anybody else have any? Oh, he's been busy. Okay, and one in Greendale. So reach out to Dan Schmidt. Sue, go ahead.
I am
Done.
We've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch, southwest side of Milwaukee, 6030 Euclid. That will be going active next week, 225.
I have a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's got an attached 2-car garage, but they turned that into an office space. It's got like a heater in it, and there's an additional 2-car garage on 14 acres. And we list at $649.
Oh, there's more.
I-
No, we went through, I just mentioned them. One in Greendale, 3-bed, 1-car garage, $299-ish. And Waterford on Tishigan Lake access. So Dan Schmidt has those. And then Ben, go ahead.
I have a 2-bed, 2-bath condo ranch style side by side.
Right up.
What? Sold.
I know it'll go.
Single party go really fast.
Yeah.
Melissa?
We have a condo going live this week, 3975 South 84th Street in Milwaukee, right near Greenfield, 114,009. 1 story, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 680 square feet, and there is a parking spot.
Lisa?
We have a Bayview house coming up, should be going live on Friday. 3 beds, 2 full baths, 2-car garage, solar panels, addition on the back with a breakfast room and a full bathroom and an actual coat closet in the back of the house. Vaulted ceilings and 2 bedrooms upstairs, cool loft area. Like I want to say 5 pages of details and special features on this house.
Oh.
It's super, super cool. 375. Falling and
Wait, is this your first listing as Level Up?
yes.
Yeah.
Garage,
Cool.
2-car garage.
Okay, anyone else? Nope. Okay, well, enjoy your day and let's go crush this market.
Yo, it's about that time.